So Luxray in Pokemon Sword and Shield is actually pretty good with 80 health, 79 in both defenses. It's pretty good defensively. 95 special attack is okay, but Luxray doesn't really have any special moves to take advantage of that, so it doesn't really matter. But the thing, Luxray also has 120 attack, which is really good, especially with its abilities. But the thing that holds Luxray back is just 70 speed. It's not that good. Like, if they could have made its speed 95, if they could have switched its speed and special attack, that would have made Luxray so much better. Because it has some bulk to hide behind, like some bulk to do something with the 70 speed, but just too slow. And it doesn't have a high enough attack to like one-shot everything. So I kind of wish their special attack and speed were switched. But one thing that really saves Luxray is its abilities. It's typing and its abilities. Rivalry is, honestly, I would never use Rivalry. It's too high risk, high reward. Like, it's too much risk reward, but it's not even that good of a reward. Like, 125, okay, unless you're going in banded, it's not really worth it, especially when you have Guts, which Flame Orb Guts is better than Rivalry pretty much in every way. Also, Intimidate's a really good ability, especially in doubles, or if you're not running just a super offensive Luxray, especially with your decent bulk. Intimidate's actually really good, and again, Guts is probably its best ability, because it has such high attack, plus Guts, Burn Orb, just go from there. Being electric is a decent typing. You're only weak to ground and you resist flying, steel, and electric, but Luxray sort of has the issue that a lot. Luxray doesn't suffer from it as much, but it does especially electric types have no coverage really. They get electric and like signal beam. Like, it literally learns all electric moves. This is why I said special attack. I wish it would have switched because it can't do anything specially. You have electric, you have hyper beam, and then you have Snarl. That's pretty much it for special. And Snarl is not even a damage. Snarl is more of a support and doubles move. But it's like, okay, you can't really do anything specially, which sucks. But the main way Luxray is used, or I would say use Luxray, is just protect, Guts, Flame Orb. First turn, you either KO something that has low health with Player for Facade, and then Flame Orb Guts procs in. That way you get a 1.5, and it ignores the burn. So you just get a free 1.5 to your attack. I would say run Adamant and just run like a wall breaker type thing with Luxray. Because you're even with the, I would say you need the attack, you need the Adamant, because the Jolly won't do enough to your speed to really matter. But the other thing that really sucks about Luxray, or electric types in general, is there's not many good electric moves that are physical. Like, if you look at it, okay, let's see what Luxray learns that's physical. You learn 3 physical moves. Wild Charge, which has recoil, which is not that good with Flame Orb, because you're already taking 1/16. I think you're taking 1/16 from that every turn. And then you have Spark and Thunder Fang, which has 75, which would they have 65 base power? I think they both have 65. So it's, yeah, so it's like, okay, cool. You're taking recoil plus the Flame Orb every turn. So if you KO something with a lot of health, you're pretty much one shot if they bring in something faster, which really holds Luxray back. One thing about this is that's actually really good though, is that even if you switch out, you'll still be burned. So technically you'll have the Guts every time. After that first burn, you'll always have the Guts. So it's not something you have to worry about. Play Rough's good coverage. You could also run something like a Throat Chop in that spot. Psychic, I would say Psychic Fangs or Throat Chop in that spot if you don't want to run Play Rough. Play Rough's just good coverage. Facade, I would say run Facade because you'll have 140 base power because you're burned every time. So that's a good neutral hit if you need to just throw something out or if these two are resisted. But the speed really kills Luxray. You're pretty much just a wall breaker. But this is a Dynamax Luxray, which is you come in, max health, max speed. Don't even worry about the max health, max attack. Don't even worry about the speed. You're just trying to be bulky. You come in, you take a hit in one shot pretty much is what you want to try to do with the Wild Charge and the Iron Tail. Superpower also raises your attack, which can be really good. One thing that does suck though is because Wild Charge brings electric terrain, but Play Rough brings psychic terrain or misty terrain, so they could kind of overpower each other. But with the electric terrain, it powers up Wild Charge anyway, or the Dynamax. The Dynamax electric move will be powered up because it's on electric terrain, but Play Rough is an option. There's also, again, Psychic Fang, Throat Chop. There are also options if you want. They both bring, well, Psychic Fang brings psychic terrain. So again, it kind of takes away your electric terrain, which kind of sucks. Throat Chop's just good coverage. Maybe Giga Impact if you just want a powerful normal hit. I wouldn't really recommend it though. But pretty much you want to come in, KO something. You could come in and KO something and then activate Guts. Or honestly, you could bring, if you bring Luxray in on something slower, and then you Dynamax into either the superpower for a +1, which would probably be the best case, or to get the electric terrain. You can do something like that and make the use of the Dynamax Luxray and just go from there and just try to take everything out while taking a hit. But another thing you can do is just Play Rough, Psychic is more of a supportive, bulky Luxray, which with the Intimidate and the Citrus Berry, so you come in on a physical attacker, lower their attack, and then you just whittle them down pretty much. With Play Rough, Psychic Fang, Throat Chop, you got to be really careful with the Wild Charge though, because of the recoil. It could screw you over. Or you could use, honestly, the Wild Charge to bring you into range of the Citrus Berry, which could be the difference between surviving a hit or not, just depending on how much recoil you take. But pretty much just bulky, come in a physical attacker, lower their attack. Throat Chop's really good, especially if they're slower. You can throat, especially like a Toxtricity. I want to say you outspeed Toxtricity, because I think Toxtricity is really slow. It's not. There's the X. Especially Toxtricity is faster, but you could come in on something that's slower and throat chop it down. Especially, well, it probably won't be a physical attacker, but you can throat chop something and take away its sound moves, and just good coverage from there. Like the speed really holds Luxray back. But another way, speaking of the speed, another way you can take advantage of, another way you can use Luxray pretty much is Intimidate. You come in on a physical attack or Intimidate and Agility. So then you'll get the +2 speed, and then your speed actually will be fast enough to outspeed things. Citrus Berry, because you'll probably take a hit or two. And the plan with this one is a 2-shot, the outspeed, 2-shot, and then do a monstrous hit on whatever switches in. Because you'll 99% of the time outspeed it, unless it's something else that's just max speed type thing. Again, good coverage in these. You can throw in Throat Chop. Crunch is also an option, but like Crunch doesn't. I like Throat Chop more because Crunch, you're not really, that defense drop isn't gonna matter very much. But you pretty much come in. You could also run something like a Substitute here if you can predict they're gonna like burn you or something, because they know you're Intimidated with this set and they know you don't have the Guts. But also that's something else you can do with Luxray, is if they don't know if you have Rivalry. Actually, I think Rivalry activates at the beginning. I don't think Rivalry activates at the beginning of the turn. So they can, if they see a Luxray and they don't see or they don't see Intimidate, they have to take that guess of Guts or Rivalry. So they could either risk burning you, and really handicapping you, or burning you and making you stronger. So that's another thing with Guts. If you don't run the Flame Orb, it's just a thing that you could do, worry about. But Agility, take a hit, Agility, and just try to KO him with these 3. 2-shot, you'll 2-shot most things, and then do a monster hit. But some of the other moves it learns all of the Fang, all the bite moves. Crunch is an option. I wish it had a Strong Jaw or something. That would be really good. But and Double Kick's also an option. It's something else it learns just for different coverage. Just if you want fighting coverage, it does 60 power, break sashes, stuff like that, but it's not a lot. I wouldn't really recommend it, but it learns it. Another thing that holds Luxray back though is it doesn't really have very many moves that can set up with. Like, okay, you learn Electric Terrain, but it's not really gonna help you very much. Like, it doesn't learn Swords Dance or anything like that, which really sucks. Especially now that Swords Dance is a TM or TR, one of the two. I don't remember which one it actually is. But Swords Dance would have been really helpful. Endure, you could do something with Endure, something like the problem is Guts. To get the most out of Guts, you have to have a status, which means for the most part you're gonna be taking damage, so you can't do Endure, Barrier, anything like that, which kind of holds you back. But like if you look at its physical moves, like Luxray, 2 things hold Luxray back. The fact that it has 70 speed with like decent, like average stats overall with 70 speed really holds it back. It has high attack, but it can't do anything with it because it's slower and it's not super bulky to where it can take hits. That also, the fact that it has 95 special attack, which is useless because it can't do anything that's not electric with it. And the physical moves that it learns aren't great. Like, okay, these are the physical moves it learns. Iron Tail, which has low accuracy. Everything it has either low base power, it has a drawback, like recoil. It learns these 3, the only good physical moves it learns. Like, okay, 90, 80, 85. That's pretty good, 100% accuracy. 90 on Play Rough, but that isn't too bad. Wild Charge does 90 power and has recoil, and that's the only good stab move it learns. That's physical, isn't good. Superpower lowers your attack and defense. Crunch is pretty much a worse Throat Chop at this point. The bite moves have low power. Facade's good on Guts, but that's about it. But like Swagger, you could do something in doubles actually with like, you could do something with Intimidate. Like Baby Doll Eyes is like Intimidate if you just, with Intimidate and doubles if you just want to shut down a physical attacker. Howl isn't that bad of a move anymore because it raises both yours and your allies' attack by 1. Night Slash if you just want the crit ratio. But something you could actually do in doubles is like Intimidate, Swagger, something like that. Swagger has 85 accuracy. That's not great. Swagger, Thunder Wave. If you just want to be more of a disruptive Luxray, But I feel like there's better Pokemon that can do that. But like, if you want to do that and then just some damage and either the biggest problem is that its only stab has recoil. So it's like something like this, there's just disruption. Maybe not wild charge because you take recoil, but I don't. It's just what you want: crunch, psychic fang, or throat chop, or the other move, attract, baby doll eyes. Like it has some disruptive stuff, but it's not. Luxray is just a weird Pokemon. I really like Luxray though from its design, but that's how to use Luxray in Pokemon Sword and Shield.